Hi, kids. You can't see me play a peekaboo with myself. 'Cause the time is up, the time is not now. It's the end of my career and I'm crying now. Oh, this is Mr. Hornsby 83. This is the Mr. Hornsby 83 Street 83 show, and today, now this video is not really going to be meant to take it too seriously because I'm not a big John Cena fan, so I'm doing this video out of the pure fun of it, not because I care about John Cena retiring or anything like that. But I am going to be talking about what I think are the best moments of John Cena's career. And we'll talk a little bit about the match that happened on Saturday night's main event, how it ended. I'll talk about what I think of John Cena as a legend and all that stuff. So yeah, so let's get into it. So first off, for one of the best moments of John Cena's career is when he lost, I believe it was WrestleMania 27 main event against The Miz. Because The Miz is awesome! So yeah, although the reason why it's not as high as some of these other ones is because if it wasn't for The Rock, The Miz probably wouldn't have beat John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania 27. Alright, next up. Once in a lifetime between John Cena versus The Rock, which was at the following WrestleMania, WrestleMania 28, in Miami, where John Cena lost again to frickin' to The Rock. And, you know, this would be higher up, but the following year they did twice in a lifetime and frickin' Cena won, and it was for the WWE Championship, which halted CM Punk's WWE title reign so that they could have Cena beat The Rock for the WWE Championship. Next up, anytime John Cena took on Batista, because usually when John Cena took on Batista, he never beat Batista, except for, we're not going to count the WrestleMania match, we're not going to count the Backlash match after that, and there might have been one other match after that. We're not going to count those matches, we're going to count all the other times before that, when John Cena took on Batista and Batista beat him. So yeah, by the way, that spinner belt is not a spinning version of it. Got to get a hold of the spinning versions of the belt, especially for that version of Cena. Next up, let's see. When John Cena lost his first WWE Championship, when his first WWE Championship reign ended at the hands of Edge at New Year's Revolution. But it's not higher because of the fact that only 3 weeks later John Cena got the belt right back. Next up is when John Cena got squashed by Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, which was Suplex City Crazy. Suplex City Crazy, and John Cena lost that match as well. There's a pattern here. Yes. Alright. Next up, for best moment, when John Cena got beat by AJ Styles. Now, John Cena eventually got his win back from AJ Styles, but John Cena got beat by AJ Styles. Then next after that, John Cena got beat. John Cena gets beat by Kevin Owens on Kevin Owens' debut to the main roster. Next up is when JBL burnt that crappy, ugly-looking U.S. spinner belt. That belt was stupid, it was ugly, and it sucked. Alright, next up, let's see, what do I got next? Next up, when Carlito beat John Cena in his debut for the United States Heavyweight Championship. People probably forget about that, but yes, Carlito did beat John Cena on his debut for the U.S. Heavyweight title. Next up, a more recent one, when John Cena got beat by Austin Theory for the U.S. Heavyweight title. At, what was it, WrestleMania a couple years ago? Yeah, it was a couple years ago. Yeah, for the U.S. title. Let's see. Next up, I guess I could say this one was just a couple weeks ago at Survivor Series when John Cena lost back the Intercontinental title to Dominic Mysterio. See, I'm just having fun with this. Everybody has their own tributes to John Cena. This is my tribute to John Cena. This is my tribute to John Cena because like I said, I'm not a big John Cena fan, but I will talk about something when I finish my countdown. Next up, anytime John Cena took on Sheamus. Because he couldn't beat Sheamus much either. And Sheamus beat him for his first WWE Championship. Let's see. Next up, when CM Punk defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank 2011. Now, CM Punk, though, did not get treated like a main eventer while he was champion. It's kind of like when Ultimate Warrior, which I might talk about that sometime next year. Like when Ultimate Warrior won the WWF Championship from Hulk Hogan, and he was supposed to be the new main eventer, and Hogan took half the main event spots while Warrior was booked in a bunch of tag matches. Had a couple matches with Rick Rude for the WWF title, and that was pretty much it. Let's see. What's next? Alright. Next up, when Bray Wyatt got a bunch of kids to throw Cena off his game in a steel cage match. I forgot which paper. It might have been Backlash. Got him to frickin' threw off his frickin' rhythm because kids were working with Bray Wyatt in the steel cage match. Which Cena lost that match. By the way, he lost that match. Next up. What is next up? Oh yeah. When John Cena lost the WWE Championship to Daniel Bryan. I'll give him credit. That was a great match. It was a really good match between those two. But yeah, John Cena loses the WWE Championship to Bray Wyatt. Or not Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan. Alright. Alright, I got one more, and then after that, I'll frickin' get the top ones that I liked. Next up, should have put the Brock Lesnar one up here closer though. Next up, when Edge replaced that ugly WWE spinner belt with the Rated R spinner belt. That was great. When Edge replaced that stupid spinner with the Rated R spinner belt. Alright. Next up, let's see, yeah. Next up, when the male fans started saying, when this chant started, "Let's go, Cena! Cena sucks! Let's go, Cena! Cena sucks!" That was another one of the best moments of freaking John Cena's freaking loss. Of John Cena's. That was another best moment of John Cena when the fans started realizing Cena sucked. The male fans started realizing Cena sucked. While the kids and women still like John Cena, still, female version, the male fans did not like John Cena. So yeah, when the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chant started. All right, next up is ECW, the first ECW one night stand when the fans booed John Cena's ass out of the arena and said, "If Cena wins, we riot." Thankfully, that didn't happen. Rob Van Dam won. He became the WWE champion. Now, Rob Van Dam screwed up his title run, but at least we got to see Rob Van Dam become the WWE champion. And then last but not least, of course, it's from this past Saturday night's main event. Mr. Never Give Up. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Guess what? John Cena tapped out to Gunther. So that's the best moment in John Cena's career. Best moment in John Cena's career. You can't see that. And you can't unsee that. Okay. But anyway, all seriousness, John Cena had quite a great career. He had a longevity on top. You had the Super Cena era, you had the Dr. Thugonomics era, and, I don't know. It just got so lame, and, people were just like, "Oh, yeah, Cena," and then you always heard about, "Oh, he always sells merch," even though, at certain points, like when CM Punk in 2011, merchandise was outselling Cena's merchandise, but they didn't want to go heel turn with him there. They didn't want to go heel turn with him against frickin' against The Rock or any of that. But yet they have him do the heel turn this year, just so he can get 17 and frickin' break Ric Flair's fictitious 16-time record. Which, a couple more years, Charlotte's gonna break that record anyway. That's why I always call Charlotte Flair the female John Cena. Right now, she's distracted with other things, but I guarantee you, starting next year, she's going to be going right back for either the women's world title or the WWE women's title. Either way, Charlotte's going to break that record. She's already got, 14 reigns already? She only needs, 4 more and she'll be 18-time champion, so, yeah. But, yeah. To be serious, though, I will say John Cena did have quite the career in WWE. Had quite a longevity. In my opinion, I thought the face of the Ruthless Aggression era should have been Dave Bautista. But instead, they went with John Cena. And then when Batista left, they focused a lot on Cena as the main hero. And then, he was Super Cena and all that stuff. Boy. Then we had to see that ugly spinner belt for frickin' almost 10 years. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the longest tenured belt next to the frickin' Winged Eagle. How does the ugly spinner belt be the second longest tenured title to what people consider the greatest WWE championship, which is the Winged Eagle, even though I like the Big Eagle better, the Attitude Era belt. I do like the Winged Eagle, though. But I don't think it's the best design ever. But, it is what it is. Do I think John Cena is a legend? I mean, yeah. He's wrestled for a long time. He's been on top. He's carried the company. So, I'll give him credit for that. He did carry the company, especially when they lost a lot of big name heroes like Batista and all that. When Brock Lesnar left, when Benoit went insane, Eddie Guerrero passing away. So, yeah, I mean, he was the guy that carried the company for so many years, but it got to the point where people got tired of him. And that's exactly what happened. Then when he started going off and doing movies, he started getting respect from the fans and people were starting to cheer him and all that. I still wasn't. I still didn't care for Cena. But you know what? He is a legend in this sport. Is he the GOAT? No, he is not. I'm sick and tired of WWE trying to force feed us. This is reasons why I don't like Cena. Because they try to force feed us nonsense that he's the GOAT. Or they want to force feed us this, that he's the, that he was the only guy selling a lot of merchandise at that time. From 2010 all the way up until when he started becoming a part-time wrestler. Because you had CM Punk. You had Daniel Bryan. You had, freaking Edge could be a good face or a good heel. Most of the time he was a heel. You had other talents that could have been a big draw like Cena, but you never put the machine, you never put your eggs in all that wrestlers' baskets like with Batista. You could have put Batista up there with John Cena, and maybe he wouldn't have left the WWE in the first place to go be a Hollywood star, and then he came back to WWE and all that stuff. But yeah. I don't see how people could call him the GOAT. And I said this time and time and time again. Title reigns don't... How many title reigns you have does not matter. Yeah, I say Ric Flair is one of the greatest of all times. But Ric Flair did a lot as the WCW champion, as the NWA champion. And to carry that company. Now, yes, did they treat him bad in the mid-90s and that, in the mid to late 90s and the early 2000s? Yeah. But, Ric Flair carried WCW. He was the Hulk Hogan of WCW. I mean, seriously. Ric Flair was Hulk Hogan of WCW. That's why so many people want to see the big dream match when Ric Flair went over to WWF for that short time. They want to see that big Hogan-Flair dream match because those guys were the faces of their top companies in wrestling. And it's not like Cena set like a new... Now, I'm not going to say Cena... Yes, Cena is legendary. It's not like Cena set, a new boom period or anything in wrestling because, heck, the only competition they had was TNA, but they didn't even have to do much to frickin' outrun TNA because TNA would always shoot themselves in the foot. But now they're improving and now they're in a partnership with WWE. But yeah, I mean, honestly, John Cena, yes, he's a legend, but he's not the greatest of all time. And I get so sick of hearing it. And now I don't have to hear it no more because he's finally retired. He's done. And hallelujah. Now, yes, John Cena did have a great career. Was he legendary? And at first I did like Cena. But then when they just kept force-feeding us, I said, yeah, screw him. Especially when he got into the Super Cena time frame. I'm like, oh, God. Hey, heck, his first reign as WWE champion lasted almost a freaking year. Stone Cold's first reign in the WWF lasted like 2 months. The Rock's first reign lasted a couple months. But yeah, you let Cena hold the belt for almost a whole freaking year. Having to see that stupid spinner belt. That's the reason why I like Cena, because of him being the top guy, they just kept that spinner belt as the main WWE championship. They just kept it. They didn't just use it for just John Cena, but they had everybody holding it. CM Punk, Randy Orton, Triple H, Jeff Hardy. Who else held it? Edge. Um, Batista held it at a couple points. Shoot, who else? The Rock held it till he brung out a new WWE Championship. Kurt Angle had to fight for that belt. No wonder Undertaker stayed on SmackDown and went for the World Heavyweight title. Because that belt looked way better than the frickin' spinner belt. I mean, seriously, Rob Van Dam had to hold that frickin' belt. Instead of bringing back the Undisputed belt when the other guys won it, or have a different belt, they would stick with the frickin' spinner belt. I mean, seriously. But, yeah. Is John Cena a Hall of Famer? Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I'll give him that. He's a Hall of Famer. Because of what he did for the company. I mean, you're coming off a time frame when you lost guys like Austin, Rock. Triple H was riding down his career. Brock Lesnar, you thought was going to be the guy for the next several years, but he ended up freaking quitting and going to the UFC. Chris Benoit, again, what he did was terrible to his wife, his son, and then like a coward took the coward's way out instead of facing the actual consequences for it. And I like Benoit as a wrestler. But, he took a coward's way out for what he did. And he took it out and didn't suffer the consequences for what he did to his son and his wife. But, talk about that time and time again. Did John Cena have a lot of great moments that I didn't count down? Yes, he did. Had a lot of good matches too. But even though I don't think he was that good of a wrestler, he still had a lot of good big matches with Randy Orton and Edge and frickin' Daniel Bryan, and I think his match with Batista were pretty good. He's had a few good matches. AJ style matches were good. The matches he had with Kevin Owens were good. So I'm not going to totally bash John Cena on this show, but yeah. I'm just not a big Cena fan. And Cena, I don't know. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in the Hall of Fame next year. No, they'll probably wait till 2027. Because we just finished his retirement tour, so they'll probably wait till next year instead of this coming year to put him in the Hall of Fame. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in the Hall of Fame. And of course, he's going to be considered a legend now. He's one of the legendary wrestlers. And, the only thing he's not is the GOAT. And you know what? He is a good person. I'll say this. He generally is a good person. When my son met him a couple years ago when he was at the Kroger thing, he was nice to my son. He even took the picture of him and my son together himself. So yeah, he's a good person, but there's also people he's buried, like when he buried the Nexus. Kenny Dykstra, what's his face? Alex Riley, I think. He buried a couple other guys, but you know what? Outside of that, he's generally a good person, I guess. I guess outside of what he said to Nikki Bella before they split up about how he's not going to marry her because he's going to focus on his career or whatever. But I never watched Total Divas. I think my wife's seen a preview of it. I don't know. And I think John Cena is one of those wrestlers that could be a good ambassador, which he has been for the WWE for over a bunch of years, so I'll give him some props. He's a good ambassador for WWE. He, made the little kids happy because that's what, especially during the PG era. So he was the greatest PG era wrestler because, I'll say greatest PG wrestler, but greatest of all time, no. Greatest PG wrestler, yeah. But outside of that, I wasn't too fond of John Cena. But yes, greatest PG wrestler ever. Not greatest of all time. And He's definitely not over Stone Cold Steve Austin or Hulk Hogan or The Rock or Ric Flair or Macho Man Randy Savage or even guys like Harley Race or Dusty Rhodes, Andre the Giant. He's not over any of those. Bret the Hitman Hart. You know, but you know what? He was a very good PG wrestler. When they jumped into the PG era after the second PG era after the Ruthless Aggression era, because the first one was the golden era with Hulk Hogan. But you know what? Even then, sometimes some of the wrestlers would still say maybe it would be a little more edgier than what Cena was during the second PG era. And edgier than some of the other wrestlers that were top guys in the 2010 to 2015 PG era. Actually, I guess you could say it was a PG era all the way up until Vince McMahon was removed from power, and then Triple H took over the Bucks and became a pretty good booker. But lately, his booking decisions have been quite. Even what happened at the. Even what happened with the Saturday Night Main Event thing, even though I just said it was what I think was one of the greatest moments of John Cena's career, it was kind of shocking to me. I'm like, what? They made him give up? He didn't pass out? Mr. Never Give Up gave up? I don't know. I guess it's like what the Solemn Monster said. Never give up until it's your last day on the job, I guess. That's pretty much what Cena did. He never gave up till his last day on the job, then he gave up. I will say, yeah, that was shocking seeing him lose. I thought the match with him and Gunther was it was an okay match. It was more about the emotion of Cena retiring, because a lot of kids grew up watching Cena. A lot of people have followed. I've seen Cena. The first time I seen Cena was in the Ready Rumble movie. And imagine if WCW was still around, John Cena would have been in WCW and probably not in WWE. He'd be in WCW. Probably if they knew how to use him right, he'd probably be doing the same thing in WCW he was doing in WWE. So I don't know. But anyway, I will say, thank you, Cena, for tapping out. Thank you, Cena, for finally retiring. And, thank you, Cena, for being a part of the Peacemaker show so I don't have to watch it, because I know you're the star of it. Like I said, this is a video not really meant to be taken seriously, but I will say, he is a legend, and he is a Hall of Famer, so there you go. Said some nice things about him. That'll do it. Nothing else for the rest of this month, except for the final two early builds of Royal Figure Rumble, or the Figure Rumble. I don't know. I don't know which name I'll go with. But I'll have a couple more builds. The next one will be tomorrow. And then next Tuesday will be the last one. And then, yeah, because we'll have one more week of December left, I think. So, yeah. So that'll be it. And then I'll be back in January to have a full schedule of videos every week, 3 days a week, which I've done this year and last year when I came back to YouTube. So yeah. That'll do it. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Follow my Facebook fan page, Mr. Horn V83 Show. Follow my Facebook business page, Trigen Toys. I sell retro action figures, retro dolls, and all that stuff. And I sell some current stuff too. And I'm trying to get a store or a freaking website started. I'm still working on that, and I'll be working on it a lot more early next year. But anyway, that'll do it. Catch you guys later. Peace out.